I won't tell anybody if you don't.
Well, that's one of the things we're supposed to learn.
There's one form in one of the weapons cutters where you're going down, let's see, it's in the left hand. So you're raising the right, and it's a counterbalance. But when I asked what is the purpose of it, they couldn't answer. Like,
Well, there you go, just don't ask questions.
it's a counterbalance, guys,
Yeah.
you know? And that's the only thing that makes sense.
There you go, perfect.
I remember, why are we lifting? I'm gonna actually lift up the side, but it was straight up. So I was asking, why straight up? I don't know. Okay. That's fine, but
Why isn't there air? To fill volleyballs, of course.
Welcome, welcome. You guys ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Excellent.
Where-
Thursday day class, or whenever it is that you're watching. We're gonna continue with the first section. I would like to move forward into the brush knee push sequence so that we can hopefully get to that other one, that one that comes from the left, which is super confusing and it's always gonna feel weird, so I'd like to get there so we can spend some time, maybe even a couple classes, because it's just gonna feel weird. Always will. You just get used to it. Full access training, important point number 8 today. And then I'm thinking we're gonna stick with fast form, at least for this class, possibly next class, unless I get feedback otherwise. So with that, glad you're here. Let's go ahead and bow in.
Bow to head instructor?
Bow to intermediate and advanced level students and students watching at home. Glad you're here. Let's start with our breathing. You know the drill. But like I've said before, I will say the same script over and over, not because I'm lazy, but I'm trying to give you something that you can remember so that if you ever need to take a couple minutes of breathing, you can kind of go through the meditation, the guided speaking part yourself. So there's a reason why it's consistent. So place your feet comfortable distance apart, hands on the lower abdomen, lips lightly sealed, teeth gently meshed together. Allow your eyes to close. And settle down and focus on deep, relaxed breathing. As you breathe in, feel your abdomen go out. And as you breathe out, feel it come back in. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out slowly. Be relaxed. With each breath, begin to imagine a cascade of relaxation flowing down the body from the top of your head all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. Feel your face and jaw relax. Neck and shoulders relax. chest, and upper back. Relax. Shoulders and arms feel heavy. Stomach and lower back. Relax. Feel the flow of relaxation through your waist, into your hips, through the thighs and backs of your legs. Allow your knees to soften. Feel your calf muscles relax. Your ankles relax. And the bottoms of your feet relax. Breathe in deeply. Breathe out slowly. Be relaxed. The next time that you breathe out, go ahead and open your eyes, lower the hands. We'll do a little bit of embracing horse together. Posture check. Very good, Mr. Watkins. Do your arms feel relaxed enough? Okay, looks really good. Good job. Same for Mr. Lucas. Looks really good. That was a quick posture check. Everyone looks really good. If you're joining us from home, always feel welcome to have a picture taken of yourself or a video. I know since we're not all here in person, if you'd like us to give some feedback on any of your postures, particularly embracing horse, take a snapshot and send it to us, and it's not the same as hands-on, but we can say, okay, shift back, sit back, head suspended, tuck your chin, or whatever might be helpful. So trying to provide as many resources as we can as we navigate this new socially distant normal. 30 more seconds. And release. Straighten the legs. Lower the hands. Circle the arms up slowly. Inhale. And slowly press the palms down to exhale. Excellent. Okay, so let's go ahead and run the whole thing up through. I know we just kind of touched on lift hands. On playing guitar, but let's go ahead and run it twice for playing guitar. And then, if there's no questions there, we'll just continue to work on the newer moves so that we're focusing, that's how we're spending our time. And before we go on that, since I do plan to kind of move forward a little bit, remember, all of these classes are recorded. So if you missed brush, knee, push, or any of that, you can just go back to a couple classes and review where we go through the instruction. So that's, distance learning isn't great except for the recorded record of all the classes. So if you feel like, hey, I didn't get the thing, just take a look at our uploaded videos and the instruction will be there for you. With that, let's start from feet together and we'll go through playing guitar 1, 2 times. Step left. Commencement. Ward off right. Ward off left. Ward off right. Pull back. Press. And push. Single whip. Lift hands. Strike with shoulder. White crane spreads wings. Brush knee push. Playing guitar 1. Good. Reset.
I don't have a mirror this time.
He said he doesn't have the mirror this time, because it was messing you up last time, right?
Yes,
So,
ma'am, it
so
was.
it's better?
Much better.
See, mirror, you think it's your friend, it's usually not. So he's having a better time not being by the mirror. All right, same thing. Step left. Commencement. Ward off right. Ward off left. Ward off right. Pull back. Press. And push. Single whip. Lift hands. Strike with shoulder. White crane spreads wings. Brush knee push. Playing guitar 1. And release. Okay. Any questions about any of that so far? No? Good? Okay. So, last couple classes we did brush knee push 1. There's 5 of them in the sequence. And I know at the end of class I sort of previewed playing guitar. But I think, again, most of the people watching this have done this before. So I think most of you are going to be pretty comfortable with it. So let's start from the end of White Crane Spreads Wings. Do brush knee push 1, playing guitar with some instruction a couple of times. Then start to add on the next, hopefully, 2 brush knee pushes, because I really want to get to the confusing one. from the end of white crane spreads wings. And brush knee push. 1. So turn from the waist. Turn. Sink. Shift. Then hands. Good. And then for playing guitar, you're going to shift forward a little bit, step up halfway, set the foot down at a wide angle, toe, heel, open the arms, close the arms, set the left heel down. One more time, just like that. White crane. Brush knee push 1. Waist. Waist. Sink down, get your balance. Step to double dragons. Shift, brush knee, push. Follow through, step up halfway, set the foot down at a wide angle, shift back, open the hands, close the hands, set the left heel down. More or that again?
More.
More, okay.
More.
There's no wrong answer, they're either one, it's like again or no, more. So from here, we're gonna do the same brush knee push as before, but you're starting from a different place. So from here, you're gonna turn to the right, left hand by right elbow. Sink down, step in, step out, heel toe, and then it should feel like the first one. So we're not having to wind up and turn to the left, like we did for this one, but otherwise, it's basically the same move. So again, let's go from the end of white crane spread wing question, or you, no, you're white craning.
I'm already.
I love it, I love it. I was like, huh? Are we craning or questioning? Crane. All right, white crane spreads wings. And begin, brush knee push. Playing guitar 1, step up halfway, shift back, open the hands, close the hands, set the left heel down. Brush knee push 2, turn to the right, left hand by right elbow, sink down, step in, step out, heel toe, make sure it's good double dragons, shift the weight, turn to the left, brush knee push. Okay. Questions, comments, suggestions about that? Yes, sir.
At the end of brush knee push, am I 90 degrees straight ahead or am I angled slightly?
So his question is, at the end of brush knee push, is he angled or is he at a right angle, in this case towards the mirrors? So that's a good question. The answer to both is yes. But let me show you straight on. So if I'm, so my attention is here, but if I were like rigidly square, that feels funny.
Okay.
So if you relax, my hips might turn, like instead of being true 90, they're maybe 5 degrees off, but not because I'm putting them there, but because there's that twist. So my waist is loose, but my shoulders are mostly here. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Because if I really like intentionally squared it up, I would lose my tuck. I would feel a weird strain here. Like try it a couple times. Like see if you can
So
put
the
your waist
shoulders are straight, the body's a little bit angled.
a little bit. But again, this is where think about what you're doing versus where your body should be. That looks correct. Because I'm brushing a punch and I'm pushing them away, which is gonna, if I tell myself that's what I'm naturally doing, my body will, for the most part, go where it needs to. Whereas if I tell myself I will stop at 90 degrees, I kind of don't get my full brush knee, my push isn't as robust as it would be because I'm stuck. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
It's a really good question. So this goes back to that thing I keep talking about knowing what the move is supposed to be doing and feeling it versus arbitrarily telling yourself what angle you need to be at.
Waist loose.
Waist
Yeah.
loose,
Very
always.
important.
I don't think of a single time in Tai Chi ever where a tight waist is the way to go. I could be wrong, there might be but no. So if there's an opportunity to loosen the waist, do so. There will come a time in your training where you don't need to loosen it as much because you're already doing it. So you can start over rotating your waist, but that is usually years down the line. You're like, you know what, don't do that quite so much. So usually at least up through black sash. Waist, loosen your waist. Then you get into second and third, you know what, you're over-rotating a little bit, so don't worry about that flaw yet. It's to come. Yay, more! Okay, so let's do that 2 more times, and then we'll start looking at, I don't know, maybe you find it easy. It really messed with my head when I first learned that opposite side brush knee push. It messed with me. Maybe it does for you too. So 2 more times from here, white crane. And brush knee push. Relax your shoulders, Mr. Loomis, more waist. And there we go. Excellent. Playing guitar. And brush knee push. One more time. Begin, brush knee push. Better, yes, yes, more waist, that was good. Playing guitar, 1. Excellent. Brush knee push, 2. Very good. Okay, release. I'm going to demonstrate, and I'm going to add on that looks good.
I keep finding myself really square though.
That's okay. It's okay. As long as if that's where you end up naturally, that's okay. As long as you're not telling yourself 90 degrees. Does that make sense?
Yes, it just kind of.
Yeah, it's mostly 90 degrees, but it's just, I don't want tightness, right? So that it's a relaxed, natural alignment versus a stop. So that's, so yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna demonstrate them coming towards you, and I'm gonna add on that next one. So let's see. And brush knee push 1. Remember, I get my shift going before I start the brush knee. Follow through, playing guitar. All right. It's gonna feel weird, but it is the exact same move, just on the other side. But I'm gonna rock back so that I can turn. And I'm gonna go right hand by left elbow, sink down, step in, get your balance, step to double dragons, shift, brush knee, and push. For whatever reason, that wind up on the left always feels weird. I think this is, no, there's one other one in the form that you do from this side. But that's it. So all the other brush knee pushes, of which there are several, they're all coming from that right shoulder. All right, so again, brush knee push, waist, playing guitar, brush knee push. The next one, I rock back so that I can pivot on this heel and turn. Make sure your knee doesn't collapse in, leave it out. Turn from my waist, then I sink down, step in, shift, brush knee, and push. Just a reminder, when you hear me say, even today, waist, 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 as opposed to where this is all arm. Did you see it? Did you see a difference there?
Looks weird.
Hmm?
That looks weird.
It does look weird. And it'll look weird and you won't even know that you're doing it, and you don't realize that your waist is stuck. So, because everybody focuses, it's natural. You focus on the part that's moving the most. You don't really see this waist moving because it's so integrated. So it's natural as a beginning student to focus on this arm movement, and this is not actually moving. So, waist, waist. I'm exaggerating it slightly, but I want to make sure it gets seen. Waist, even here, a little bit. Waist. And here especially, back, waist. My whole body turns. So that my whole body can then shift into this brush knee. Make sense? Any questions? No? Got 2 bandits. No man. Oh, now it's a full head thing.
I Never thought I'd walk into a bank.
I know, yeah, we could all just, what do you look like? I don't know, he came in and he took stuff, I don't know, his whole face was covered. All right, so, let's go from the end of, nope, we're gonna go from playing guitar. Playing guitar, and then we'll do brush knee push 2, and we'll start working on brush knee push 3. All right, so brush knee push, like the first one, except it's the second one. Okay, from here, brush knee push 3, rock back, pivot on the left heel, turn from the waist, right hand by left elbow, weight on the back foot, Mr. Loomis, so, and then pivot, so pick up those toes. There you go. Then shift into the left foot, sink down, step in, step out, heel toe, shift to the right, brush knee, turn to the right, push. You, on this one you look a little over-rotated.
Just wound up there, so.
That's okay, that's okay.
Okay.
All right, again, reset. Playing guitar. And brush knee push 2. Good. Rock back, pivot on that left heel, turn to the left, right hand by left elbow, sink down, step in, step out, heel toe, shift to the right, turn to the right, turn the left toes in. Good, good. Again.
Just look too much.
No, that looks good, yeah. I think if you, just in general, just soften the upper body, it'll feel less. Is this right? Okay. Playing guitar. Brush knee push 2, rotate from the waist, sink down, get your balance, step out, good double dragons, shift, turn. Very, actually hold here. So part of it is you're too narrow. Yes, so that looks good.
So I have to step a little bit.
A little wider.
Closer to
Yep.
make it wider.
Closer and wider, yes. So go ahead and release for a second. So that was a good point. If you find that your rotation is off or it feels funny, or like, is this right? Make sure, let's see. I've stepped too narrow, and that's gonna have me kind of twisted and my arm isn't quite in the right place. So if you find that you feel a little wobbly or twisted, check these feet. Make sure it's a good shoulder width apart. It's hard, like we talked about several classes ago, that step test, you know, how far is it far out this way or far this way? You just have to play with it. So some things that can happen is you'll step too far forward, and then you're kind of stuck. Or if that's not happening, you might be stepping a little too tight ropey. I don't tend to see stepping too wide. Like, that's not usually an issue at this part of the form, but stepping too long and too narrow is. So I'm glad that happened.
Excellent.
All right, let's do it again, a couple more times. And brush knee push. Check your feet. Yeah, good, good. And the other one, rock back, pivot on the left heel, turn from the waist, so right hand by left elbow. Sink down, step in, step out, again, shoulder width, yep. Shift to the right, turn to the right, turn the left toes in.
It worked.
Better, yeah, he said it worked, I love it. Reset. Brush knee push. The second. Brush knee push the third. Rock back, pivot on the heel, turn from the waist, shift to the left, sink down, step in, step out, heel toe, shift to the right, turn to the right, turn the left toes in. Good. Release. Any questions?
Okay.
Feel okay?
Yes,
Hopefully it feels okay for you too.
yes.
Let's back it up a little bit. Let's go from white crane. Let's add another brush knee onto it. Okay, so white crane spreads wings. Brush knee push 1. Relax your shoulders, Mr. Lewis. Playing guitar 1. Brush knee push 2. Brush knee push 3. Rock back, pivot, turn from the waist, shift to the left, sink down, step in, step out, heel toe, shift to the right, turn to the right, turn those left toes in. Very good, looks great. One thing I wanted to address, I know I made a distinction a couple classes ago between lift hands and playing guitar. They're not the same. It's not. So I think, hopefully you remember that lift hands is I'm blocking a punch, checking an elbow, and I'm striking to a face. Playing guitar is a little different, and it might change the way you feel doing this. Someone is throwing a very deep punch, so you have to get out of the way, and then it's not nice, but you're breaking an elbow. It's unpleasant, but that's what's happening.
Hopefully not yours.
Hopefully not your own. Yeah, and obviously when we do partner applications, we're very mindful and conscientious about, not doing that to our partner's elbows, and we don't ever lock our elbows out because accidents happen that way. But that's what is happening here. So there's a punch coming, and it's obviously not going to happen so much in the slow form, but there's a rebound kind of effect so I'm not using my muscles to slap the arm. What's happening is when I put that front foot back, by putting the weight, a little bit of weight, 10% in that front foot, it slings the arms forward.
Oh, I see what does.
Yeah, so it's like, the best analogy I've come to is like if you stop suddenly in a car and you jerk against your seatbelt. It's that kind of a feeling. It's, which doesn't really, you don't see that when we practice it slowly. When we get to be able to do it with people again, that's there. So it isn't just setting an empty foot down. I shift back. There's a little bit of weight that happens here, which brings the arms to close. Yes. So.
Double dragons.
Huh?
Gotta be double dragons.
Well, except you're going to end up in this guy. So anyway, play with that on your own. When you have some time, try to get the timing of putting on the brakes, so to speak, and let that, because you're relaxed, create a follow through that allows the arms to close, even though we're doing it super slowly. All right, we are over time, but let's do it from White Crane Spreads Wings one more time. And again, brush knee push 1. Yes. I saw some shoulder relaxation happening there. Good. And playing guitar 1. Think about it. The foot goes and it closes the hands. Excellent. Brush knee push 2. Brush knee push 3. Good. Release. Okay, so hopefully that wasn't information overkill for people watching at home. If it was, let us know. And like I said, if you need instruction on that first brush knee push, you can go back a couple classes. And we'll kind of stick with this. There's mostly brush knee pushes for the rest of the section, and then a crazy turnaround. Step forward, deflect downward, intercept and punch, which also can be a little tricky to get when it's new to you. But we're in really good shape with this rotation, so we have time to go back for any questions. So if you've got any questions, obviously in person or not in person, let us know. We definitely have time to address those and get you some help. With that, let's go ahead and bow out of basic training. We follow the 5 hearts: faith, respect, perseverance, patience, and humility.
Bow to head instructor.
Now to intermediate and beginner level students and students watching from home. Basic training is dismissed. Good job, everybody. Go get a drink of water. We'll come back out and we'll do important point number 8, and it's a doozy. doozy.
I know it is. They're all good
We
doozies.
They
just
are
got
just-
out of my favorite, which is upper follows lower.
Yeah, we just did that one,
I
right?
just did that.
Yeah, we did that last week.
And I noticed you headed off all of the comments too.
Hmm?
You headed off all of my comments too.
The left shoulder is my new anthem.
Yeah.
But that's not unusual, that's been one of my, I've always been tight. So,
It's ubiquitous
Yeah.
in our culture. And then if, like you and me, like we've trained in different disciplines,
yeah.
it's all about stiffness and strength up here and to change the way that strength is wired.
But even although the Aikido
Mhm.
is soft,
It is
it
soft.
still get tight.
Yeah.
It's still a lot of,
Well, there's more throws.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's still, you still tense up.
Yes.
Even though you're not supposed to.
Right, it.
And I'm mad about that.
Okay.
That's my anthem though. Soft shoulders.
I know, soft on my shoulders.
Loose waist.
Yeah, I know, it's like the loose, he's saying this is anthem, soften the shoulders, and loose waist, yes, yes. You know, when we evaluate students for Black Sash, I can't tell you how many times, like, that was really good, but, you know, I noticed in general you need to loosen your waist, and it's like, the eyes roll, and it's not a criticism, it's just, yeah, that's still happening. So if you can kind of keep a playful attitude, yes, it's still happening, yes, I can still loosen my weight, yes, my shoulders are still in my earlobes, and just be like, okay, you know, and don't stress about it. And you will have an easier time. All right, the reason why I said this is a doozy is this one is super philosophical. Like every time I go through this one, the synapses start popping in my brain. I can feel them, I can hear them. It's a, yeah, it's a good one, but it's inside outside coordinated. So we just did, you know, upper and like so we did use mind not strength, and then we did upper follows lower, and now it's so upper lower inside outside. Commentary. In Tai Chi training, the spirit, or Shen, is considered the commander-in-chief of both body and mind. The body is given the orders, the spirit is able to lift up. Naturally, the movement should be light and swift. The movement of Tai Chi form is nothing more than substantial and insubstantial, opening and closing. So-called opening means that not only are the hands and feet open, but the heart and mind are also open. So-called closing means not only that the hands and feet close, but the heart and mind also close. In this way, inside and outside are able to mix together to form one chi, and one is able to execute without any difficulty and without interruption. So, it's, yeah, you just, so this is talking in a pragmatic sense in terms of having an opponent with Tai Chi being open and closed. But the added part is it's the mental opening and closing. And another way of thinking of that is that my outside has to match my inside. And I don't know about you, but there's a lot of times that I go through my day that my inside and my outside are not matching. Like outside everything looks fine, inside I'm like worried about something, or I'm, you know, thinking about something, so it's not in sync. A kind of basic way of understanding this is like if you're in Tai Chi in a group and you zone out so much that you don't realize that you've not kept up with the people doing the form with you. That's a form of inside-outside coordinated. You're too inside and you're not aware of your outside. So that's one example. What they mean by heart and mind as well as body, Tai Chi is opening and closing. Take the move we just talked about, playing guitar. I open and I close. And so you see it, you can open and I'm closing. We're not talking about it right now, but there's breathing that goes with that. So well, it's actually opposite. I'm opening my breath as I close my hand, but there's a breathing rhythm that happens to this. And for me, my understanding of this, or the way I helped to understand myself, is I am opening to make a decision. I have made that decision and I've closed. In terms of the applications of these moves. So I see something coming at me, I'm deciding what to do, I have decided what I'm doing. So that was a way that I kind of helped map out what does open and closing mean. I'm thinking about stuff, this is what I'm doing. And now I'm open again. I let it go. I'm not dwelling on what I just did or what just happened to me. I'm open again. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes, ma'am, it seems like we've gone through all the individual points. This says they all work together.
They do, and the last, 9 and 10 continue to build on that. So he said, it seems like we've been doing individual parts, and this kind of brings it all together, and it does. I mean, this is why I'm like, my head goes, because there's a lot tucked into this idea of opening and closing. It could be, am I aware of my surroundings? Am I kind of faking it and where I feel terrible inside, but I'm acting like everything's fine outside? And that's closed off, but open, I mean, that's inside and outside are not coordinated at that point. And then obviously from a tactical perspective, you have to be open to think about what you might need to do to protect yourself, and then you've closed, this is what I'm gonna do. So there's multiple facets to this, and there's no one way to practice it or internalize it or to make it work for your practice. So we just kind of throw out some ideas, and then you can explore what that means to you. I know, he's like twisting some cogs. So let's run the first section, and let's think about opening and closing. Whether that's physically, whether that's emotionally, whether that's mentally, whether that's cueing into keeping together with your surroundings, whatever that needs to be. And who cares where your feet go and your hands go? This is the one time, who cares? I don't care if your waist is loose. I don't care, just open and, inside, outside, coordinated, opening and closing, okay? And just follow along. No names. Begin. See? I was not coordinated.
Inside and outside is hard.
Inside, outside is hard. You just saw me get too far inside and I lost my outside. Normal, yeah. I don't like a lot of ego, but I pride myself on having washed most of that out. So if I make a mistake, I got no problem saying, yeah, I made a mistake. See, it happens. Yeah, for me, I went too far inside. I was focusing on, this feels really good, I'm in a meditative zone, and then I forgot playing guitar too. Normal, it happens. So don't beat yourself up if it happens to you. Any comments from doing that?
Well, I forgot how to do playing the guitar at one.
So he forgot how to do playing guitar one. Mhm. Any other
I
feedback?
kept going back and forth between in and out.
Yeah, and it's back and forth, in and out. And again, trying to stack all these points on at once is too much. You cannot, I mean, I suppose some people can, I can't. Most people I know can't. I'm gonna incorporate all 10 points right now. It's too much. So you would serve yourself by picking one. We have a student here at the school who, everyone's like, yeah, her Tai Chi is really, really good. And we asked what her secret was, and she did 1 week of each point, and all she thought about was that 1 point. 1 week of nothing but head suspended. 1 week of nothing but closed chest, lift back. And then, because your brain is running that first point when you start working on the second point, even though you're not actively thinking about that. So that's a really tangible, doable way of thinking about these points, is kind of allocate some time with one is all you think about. You just pick one. So otherwise it's too overwhelming. Talk about heads exploding. It'll totally happen. So let's go ahead and run the first section again. Again, open and close, inside, outside, coordinated. And begin.
It's hard.
Hard.
Getting back to our back.
Yeah, hard. One thing that came to me is, it's a little hard to articulate, and I know we're over time, but I think it's important. So, inside-outside coordinated also can be being okay with where you are in your Tai Chi on any given day. So if it feels really hard, or that I'm not getting it, or my knees hurt, and something's not, that's okay. Inside-outside coordinated. It's okay. Meet yourself where you are. Your Tai Chi will always meet you where you are. There's nothing wrong with where you are. It's okay. So, I know for me as an instructor, sometimes if I'm having a bad knee day, I feel like I have to make it look like I'm not having a bad knee day, and that is not inside-outside coordinated. And I have to remind myself that it's okay, and I'm okay, and it's okay, everything's fine. So that will help with your training, with your practice, to just understand that inside-outside coordinated means you are okay with your form or your Tai Chi or your thoughts exactly where you are in any one of your training sessions or out in the real world. So for me, that also it helps with that relaxation component that Tai Chi is supposed to give us, is we have to kind of give ourselves some slack. Like, I'm coordinated. Today I feel a little off, or today I feel really great. So anyway, just wanted to leave that with you. Any questions so far? Okay, well, let's go ahead and do our life skill. Creative spirit. Path of self-mastery requires a creative spirit. A creative spirit has no self-doubt. Path of self-mastery requires a creative spirit. A creative spirit has no self-doubt. Path of self-mastery requires a creative spirit. A creative spirit has no self-doubt.
About head instructor?
Now to intermediate and beginner level students, access training is dismissed. Students at home, glad you're here. Take a quick drink and we'll come out and we'll do some fast form.
Is that, that's fucking up. I've seen reports about how all the virus cases are rising again. Here in Texas, for one thing.
Well, first of all, we had Labor Day, Memorial Day weekend, we had people not be as smart.
Oh, yeah.
Next week, it's gonna go up even higher, we may end up hitting that 24. And we don't know what the state came back.
Oh, I believe it. Not only downtown, all over.
Yeah.
And they're all nice and close, most of them don't have masks on.
And they spread, they came in from everywhere. So,
Nah, you gotta love it.
I would be willing to go out and do some slightly safer
Yeah.
items, but I won't because there's too much
I'm just saying that,
lines out there.
I suspect, we're flirting right now with that magic number that's gonna shut us back down.
Yeah.
We've got to use some common sense when we do what we do.
There's your problem right there.
I mean, it's fine to do what you're gonna do, but exercise caution with it,
All right.
Just like what we're doing here.
Yes. Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
We are trying.
And you're trying very well. Except when my glasses fog up.
The glasses fogging up, yeah. The 2020 needed one more thing. Anybody with glasses fogging. All right, fast form. Any comments from the last time we did it? Any just observations, critiques, comments?
No.
No, all right. So, reiterating why we do it. Hopefully it's fun. 2, it reminds you of where you are in your sequence. Like you've got these sections that are falling off the rails when you do fast form. It'll help you understand where you should put some work. It declutters your form, helps smooth things out, irons out extra stuff you may be putting in there that you don't know you're putting in there. And like yin and yang, training very slowly and training very quickly will help enhance your total package Tai Chi understanding. So, and the main also fun. I mean, sometimes we could be, no, I hate fast form. And then we get other people like, I love fast form. And it's like, well, yeah, but slow too. So wherever, on whichever end of the spectrum that you are, that feels better, it's a good idea to spend some time practicing on the one that is uncomfortable or less fun. Fun, but I think you get what I'm saying. Anyway, so let's go ahead and do it. Pretty slow, just a little bit quicker, and then we might start punching up the pace a little bit. Don't let it get frustrating for you. Just practice, have fun. If you lose your place, see if you can pick back up. If not, just kind of hang out till the next one. Whatever you need to do is okay.
I'm always distracted by somebody who's ahead or behind.
He says he's always distracted by someone who's ahead or behind. When we're in class doing it at regular pace, the best way to combat that is to not get ahead or behind. In fast form, it's a little different because obviously I've been doing this a lot longer. It's new, so yeah, just trying to let it be
Right.
okay.
Don't look in the mirror, I see you
Don't
in
look
the
in the
mirror.
mirror. Don't look in the mirror. And then just I would say look for opportunities to relax. Like just let yourself go, kind of ragdoll, wet noodle.
But I don't wanna get behind.
But the ragdoll wet noodle will help you not be behind.
Yeah.
Because if you've got too much muscle tension, you don't have time to tell your whole body what to do. You have to kind of relax into it. Otherwise, you can't do it. It's too muscle bound. All right, again,
Yes,
Please.
ma'am.
let's do it. Begin. Got some falling off happening back there. All right, two things that I saw. Looking down, that'll make it worse.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing is, another reason why you might be a little bit behind, is when we teach it, we're stopping a lot between the moves. This does not stop. So it helps string all that stuff together where you may not even be realizing that you're stopping. You know, rush me push, I stop before I start here, and I stop before, don't stop. Because by the time I've ended this, my center has already begun moving onto the next thing. My center has already begun moving onto the next move. So that's
what I'm
another way to
doing.
easily get behind it.
That's what I'm doing, stopping.
It's the stopping. Thought I saw that. I was like, looking down, stopping, oh my gosh, stopping. Everybody stops. This way, that's the instructional way that we teach it. So try not to stop. Yeah, try not to. It's not easy. Any other questions? Any? Okay, let's incorporate not looking down and trying not to stop, and we'll do it again.
Don't fall out, Ed, you got so much stuff to do that.
It's okay if you fall out. And begin. Try to slow it down just a hair. Relax, don't stop.
hard not to stop.
It is hard not to stop, especially when you've been stopping a lot, but it looked good. That looks great. How about you? It looked like you were,
When I'm going to my brush knee push, I'm actually lining up for the hidden hand punch, and that's what's throwing me. Instead of doing the brush knee arms, I'm dropping the hand and locking, making the fist. So now I forget where I'm at, but I should be doing a brush knee.
yep. So
So,
if you didn't hear that.
Twice in a row.
Twice in a row, so that's, a little bit of sequence work for you.
Yes.
He said that every time he starts to do that brush knee push from the left, his body wants to make the step forward interception punch. And he did that twice, so that just gave him some information that there's a little bit of reinforcement of sequence that would be helpful for him.
Yes.
And that's why we do it. Any other questions or comments? All right, play with your fast form. Don't freak out with your fast form. Just have a good time with it. It's there to help you. It's not there to torment you. I know sometimes it feels like, why? Yeah, trust us. We're trying to help you reach the goals that you've set forth for yourself. So with that, let's go ahead and bow out of the Master's Path training.
Bow to head instructor.
Now to intermediate and beginner level students, Master's Path training dismissed. Students at home, thanks for being here. Yeah, see you next week.
Thank you.
Welcome. I mean, there's classes today. I will see you next week. All right. Nothing personal. Shutting down the stream.